Hackers.
And I'm Eileen Crawford. Okay, and I'll start. We're doing part 1, question 1. So I'll start with that. Oh, I have to find the question and read it. I forgot. Oh my gosh. I have to go find it. The struggle is real.
Already have the questions here.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
I think the first one is in what ways does selective breeding in the field most of the study provide evidence for evolution?
Okay, so for that one, I said that selective breeding is just one of the ways that species can evolve on a more micro level as compared to like macro. It's not macroevolution, it's microevolution. And like our text talks about dogs and how they have wolves as a common ancestor, but they've been selectively bred for different traits that show up in their specific breeds. So all of the breeds are still the same species, but they have different like morphology and different behaviors because they're a different breed. But the fact that they're all one species is evidence for microevolution because they're still one species, but there are so many different kinds. And then for the field mustard study, I just talked about how that is an experiment where scientists took seeds from 2 populations of mustard plants. There was like a 1997 mustard plant and that was like that had a later flowering time because was it a later? Because it was used to having more water. And then there was a 2004 one that was more adapted to drought, and it had an earlier flowering time because it was used to having to flower like earlier because it didn't have enough water. So the scientists basically just like took seeds from each population and bred a refresher generation to make sure that all of the new plants were going to be the same age and that there was no like discrepancies between the ages of the seeds. And I just put that the refresher generation for both populations was the same age, they shared growing conditions. Also was a hybrid population too, so that's important to note. And watered them using a long growing season pattern and observed the flowering times among each of the 2 populations and the hybrid population. And they found that each type of flower had a different flowering time because previous generations had evolved with the environmental conditions.
Not our like the sunflower and the daisies.
Okay, so go back.
And then I have to discuss my answer.
Yes. So, that is the assignment.
Yeah, that's the assignment.
Okay. We'll just then, so she said number 1, right?
Yeah, number
So
1.
now you say so now you talk about number 2.
Oh, do you have anything to add to number 1? Like, is there anything that you got differently from that or that you wanted to add?
I think I have the same answer, and like you say, plants of mustard evolve according to their environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, yeah, if there's nothing, like if it's the same, then cool. Then I guess we did it right. But okay, well then, do you want to do number 2?
Okay, we have to do number 2.
Or sorry, no. Part 2, question 1.
In 1 and 3, or with the
It's part 2, questions 1 and 2.
okay. 1 and 2. Says, explain what specific organs are and how they are used as evidence for evolution.
I think it's not that one that we're doing. It's the so on part 2, the part 2 questions, like Andres Vesalius, and we're supposed to do that one. So him and like the William.
I thought we were supposed to do the part 1.
You what?
I thought it was part 1 because I didn't do the part 2.
Oh, you haven't done it yet?
No, I think part 2 is for tomorrow.
Let me see what it says.
For today is part 1.
Go back.
I think today is part 1 and part 2, but
sorry, I can't get confused.
Hold on.
Go back to the.
Which one? Here.
Yeah.
Oh,
go
so
back.
we're supposed to make like 2 screencasts. So the first screencast we answer part 1, question 1, which we just did. And then for the second screencast, we like make another one, and we're supposed to do.
But
part-
it's supposed to do it tomorrow.
They're both due tonight.
Oh, let me see.
Email was that she sent out earlier this week.
It's a part 2 Thursday at 11.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, on the assignment on iLearn, it looks like it says part 1 is due Wednesday at 11:59 p.m., while part 2 is due Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Does that mean anything?
But part 1, you guys can take this off air if you want to, because we're done with our first screencast. But so part 1 is doing 2 separate screencasts where we do one is questions, like the part 1 questions, and the second one is part 2 questions.